How does that sound, guys? Sound a little bit better? I've turned up the mic volume from earlier. What you just don't want is background noise. My wife bought it for me, Nick. Don't make me go into camouflage again. What's it with you guys? Every day it's something about me, huh? Your hate is gonna hate. Can't fault my trading, so you fault my life. Alright, just gonna bring up the charts here. See what's going on. Big day in the market for us, guys. We've been waiting for this sort of price action for a while. Um, Basically, yesterday I said to you, if we're talking here and the euro is above 113 and dollar yen's in the low 100s, that we've got ourselves a US dollar sell-off. Potentially, if the dollar yen can stabilize and the euro remains high, then we've got ourselves euro yen, pound yen squeeze. All this is happening right now. I'm involved in most of it. All pretty good stuff. Only trade which is going against us at the moment is the Aussie Kiwi, and it did go down and did a nice little test here of support. I got in a little bit late on the rebound, but I thought it was still pretty solid enough to do a full size trade actually. So we're into that as well. So, but really, all the money's going to be made on the US dollar end today, and the potential here is fantastic for some nice gains. So I will be going over each pair individually shortly, but for sure today is it's going to be our day. Right, so if you're not in the market and you're looking at this US dollar sell saying, well, is the dollar yen reversal going to change anything? Not really. I mean, there's been some heavy jawboning coming out. Really, the US dollar's on the back foot now, and probably on the back foot for a while, given those dovish FOMC minutes. Very unlikely there's going to be a September rate hike. Therefore, we can wait pretty much all the way till December till we get that rate hike. All right, so in that time, we've got a few months here to play shenanigans against the US dollar. And if data gets worse than the US dollar, then we can start to push back the next Fed rate hike indefinitely. If they talk about changing the parameters in the Jackson Hole meeting next week in terms of what they're targeting over there, then you could also see some pretty heavy dollar selling adding to this scenario. So everything's coming up against the US dollar right now, and it's you can see it on every pair. Ooh, pound. Pound yen must be going berserk. It is fantastic. This is really good stuff. I was walking home actually. Didn't see the latest pop, but the latest pop is pretty strong here. Just gonna close out a couple of trades I put in before. CAD Yen is also another trade that I'm involved in, and it's working out very well here. So I haven't got the CAD Yen on this page. CAD Yen makes the most sense given what's going on in the market. So get involved in a little bit of that, and it's to the top side. You know, we're just starting this rally. We're not even halfway through it. We're just in the first 25% of this potential rally. Looking for a move back to say 81, 80 at least. This is probably coming through on our Euro pounds as well. Excellent. Pound Swiss, excellent. All right. So if you set yourself up in the right way, when everything hits at the same time. If you're not going against yourself in too many ways with your trades. So say you're going long Aussie Kiwi, but short, Aussie, right? It's a little hard to see both of them coming out. Sometimes they'll, when one's up positive, one will go negative. But if everything's aligned, and I was aligned on the all the pound, yen, pound, euro yen, CAD yen, all those pairs, when they both rally, then you get this double profit situation. But it wasn't going to happen unless the dollar yen was able to reverse against its sort of tone here. And this is, I'm not saying that the bottom's in, but this is the sort of stuff you want to see on this second test of 100. That will get the sellers a little bit cautious. Once you get the sellers cautious, then perhaps the flows can come across, and that's what you're seeing in the pound yen. Pound yen, you can see by that daily chart, has got so much room to move, so much room. If this is going to be a more serious 2 or 3 day rally. So pretty exciting stuff. If you've been following this stream for the last couple of days, last couple of weeks, even, you know that I'm really bearish on the US dollar, and a lot of things are happening here that's sort of confirming that. That Aussie data today was pretty strong. All right, so I know a lot of you trade the Aussie. The Aussie data was pretty strong, and surprisingly, we're not back above, holding above this actually. I'm still buying dips on this pair, and I'm patiently waiting for these pullbacks. This time I'm in at around about 76.70 to 76.80. So I've already taken profit on this trade, and I'm going to buy again. And that's the way I'm playing that. Kiwi also should do really, really well as well over time. We've just got to break some of this resistance. It's stalling here. So definitely, if the euro makes that next leg higher, which is the next rally should do, then you're going to see that whole market go with it. I mean, look, there's potential if this dollar yen rally gets serious that it does cap the euro and the pound for a day or two. But the market's gearing up here for the top side on the euro. And the euro is the biggest boy in the block. If the euro is grinding higher, then everything will follow with it. And just the best you can hope for if you're dollar yen bull is that it doesn't create this vacuum in the US dollar where dollar yen goes below 100 and stays below 100. That will do damage technically to the pair and to the sentiment as well. I mean, people don't want to be buying something which is held underneath 100. So far, it's come back up every time. This is the third time down. So the trade that we were on yesterday was the CAD. Now oil's just relentless here in its push higher. So that's fine. It's having a little bounce off 128. It's a cheeky little thing. Doesn't want to go in a straight line down. Nothing in the market really is at the moment going straight line. But let's bring across the dollar CAD and oil. And the dollar yen. So actually, last month I had a stellar month, but the last 2 weeks and the start of this month have been pretty average, pretty sideways in terms of equity, right? So what we're looking at here is potential now for this new trend that I'm involved in to start to get us higher. Once you're making a bit of money, it's easier to make more. It's you can use a bit of your profits to keep buying dips, and if the trend continues, and hopefully cross your fingers it does, you can start to pile up those profits. I don't let trades run too long generally if the market's not trending strong, and it's not trending strong at the moment, so I am watching a little bit carefully here some of these reversals that's going on in the last 15 minutes. Have a look at some of these questions in the chat room. If you're watching me on YouTube, come across to forexsignals.com where you can ask questions directly. I'm not looking at the YouTube chat if you do want to see what's going on there. So you can see my account balance. Critical information there, Nick. Alright, I'll move it. Yeah, so about to break the 10,000 in equity, which would be nice. You know, imagine if you could trade people's equities, right? Oh, Tony's equities going strong today. We're buying for the break of 10,000. Hopefully, we get an extension above 10,000. Good boys, equities taking a dip here. Betting against good boy, right? I mean, it could be like a little side bet, side game, betting on traders' returns, not the actual trades themselves, just the equity change. You create some new market there, Nick. Buy protection, right? Complete account, wipeout protection. Probably, I mean, mathematically, you probably can do such a thing. For retail traders, though, I'm guessing the insurance on your equity would be extremely high. You know, perhaps you could go through a few tests to try and get your insurance lower. Maybe if you installed a 2% equity drawdown, close everything. Maybe if the insurance company puts that in on your account, then perhaps they will, and a lockout, a 24-hour lockout, if you hit your 2% drawdown, perhaps then that you will be able to get that insurance on it. So in case something like the S&B happens again, where it wipes you out, you can get, you know, so your money back. But yeah, it'd be pretty hard. It'd have to be in America where it's regulated. Everything's regulated. I mean, the Forex industry, the broker that you would get it on would be ultra regulated. So with oil, you know, this is right back in that range now, well into that range. So it's looking pretty clean that we're now on the bullish footing. Obviously, when you have a 15-day rally, right? If anything, dollar CAD's underperforming that rally, but it is trending lower, so we can't ask too much more of it. Whether we get these extensions here coming through, on the euro yen and the pound yen probably is going to impact what happens on those majors. But pound's well set up now for a short squeeze, so if you are short the pound, be very careful. Short the pound on anything, be very careful. Yeah, so the retail sales from UK came at 1.4%. Notoriously volatile series, so it's not like, oh, this is a huge number. It does miss and hit by that much all the time, but still the timing's right. The market's keen to buy. Maybe we should get involved in some pound longs here. Is it aggressive to add to a trade? The pullback's very small, right? That's suggesting that there's a bit of room to move here. You know, it's like, oh, well, this data doesn't suggest UK's in recession at all. Let's have a little look at the pound. Maybe we can get another trade on another pair. Let's do some pound Swiss. Pound itself is a little... Yeah, we've got enough, maybe. If it pulls back a little bit more, maybe we'll get some more. We're going to look at some of the bank reports. I don't know the technicals on the top side. Obviously, the highs, it's resistance, but there might be something else in between that I don't know. I haven't drawn any technicals on the pound for a while. Haven't been trading the pound. It's been on my naughty list. But pound yen must be looking stellar. No doubt Jenny is involved buying that right now. If we know Jenny, she's buying. Oil is probably heading back to 50, Prad. Now above 50, we can talk new levels, right? Let's just see if we can get back to 50. I mean, at some point, just now on this rally, you're going to see some pullback. You don't get 15 days in a row, right? You don't get 20 days in a row. Let's find out when this OPEC meeting is. Later this month or early next month. We had Qatari oil minister came out. I believe it was Qatari. I have to double check that, but he came out and said if they fail to make a meeting, to make an announcement at the next OPEC meeting, it's going to do more damage than good. This recent rally. I mean, they've talked up this new cooperation between Russia and Qatar, but yeah. Awanda or FX Pro, what would you choose? Neither, probably. Probably go with an Australian broker. Go with my broker. Come and get mentored by me. Nah. No shameless plug-in today. No shameless plug-in. But depends what you need. If you are time sensitive and you need access to good information, then a full service broker is good. If it's all about the price, then a straight ECM broker is good. There's many of those ECM brokers. Hard to differentiate them. Obviously, Nick's ones are pretty good. Nick's got a good relationship with AxiTrader, so you can have a chat with him. I'm the chief market analyst at Easy Markets in Sydney, and so my job is to teach the high net worth clients how to trade, and most of them just don't have time to trade, so just market updates. Well, what's going on with the Aussie unemployment today? Okay, well, strong numbers. If you're looking deep into the numbers, though, there's a little bit of weakness in that the full-time jobs came out at minus 45,000, and it was all part-time jobs that led to that headline figure of 26,000 positive. The unemployment rate did drop, though, and you can tell by the price action that the market was ready to rally, and there was no mood to play shenanigans with a reversal. So people who were selling on the fact of the internals being weak got run today. And the main thing you have to remember is that the most important thing when you're trading the Aussie is what's the US dollar doing. US dollar's on the back foot. So whatever the case is, you're looking to buy the Aussie, and the numbers were good enough that it confirmed that buy. So now we just have to wait for the levels that you're looking at here. Hypothetically, if you rang me up and asked me what to do, it'd be like, well, markets tested 77.20, wait for a pullback to some of those pre-levels around about 76.70. If the market gets below 76.30, there's a problem. Look to close out potentially, or have a chat the next day. But really, we should be doing another retest of 77.50. A break of 77.50 opens up 78.50, the year highs, onto 80 cents, which is the medium-term target in the event of a US dollar sell-off in the next couple of months. All right, so that's the quick snap bang. What are you doing next on the Aussie? And just trying to get them, clients to trade the right way, which is for the last 2 or 3 months has been buying. Yeah. Now, so if you need that sort of assistance and you come to a high service broker, there's not too many of them out there, but there is a few still. Now in terms of FX Pro and Awanda, I mean, Awanda is really big in America. Some of their policies and the settings, it was actually my first broker, Awanda. Yeah, it's not way back. Awanda and FXCM. The leverage is limited on a few products with Awanda. That's annoying. The leverage is different on the crosses to the majors. That's annoying. And you have to learn a new platform, and that's annoying. So it's not a bad platform. It's actually a very nice platform, but it's just a little bit annoying. And depends on what you're looking for. But yeah, they're pretty big. FX Pro is just your straight up cookie cutter. It could be FX Choice. It could be Think Forex. It could be, It's the same. It's the same thing. Very little distinguishes FX Pro that I'm aware of lately from 50 other brokers. So. No lot size. Okay, yeah, you can trade one, position one, not 1,000, but one on a Wender. So yeah, that's unique. But apart from that, yeah, a Wender's great in some regards like that. A Wender's got some really good trader tools. Some ones that are just weird, wacky stuff. But but yeah, all the ECM brokers, they're pretty much the same. I see Pepperstone are fine. Okay, James. IG Markets is pretty good these days as well. IG's come back with an aggressive pricing on. IG Markets is probably the cheapest in the game now when it comes to Forex. So if you're all about the price, check them out. Depends what you need. If you're losing money, it doesn't matter what the spread is, right? It's the fact that you haven't been taught to trade, or you don't have the right service or assistance. All right, but enough of that. Enough of that. Spend all day working. I don't really want to work right now. Just want to have a beer, relax, make some money. Can you buy this? Yeah, look, you can. Probably it's easier psychologically if you're in already below 113. Pound makes a bit more sense. But just be prepared to cut the pound if this rolls over. The euro you can let run a little bit longer. The situation's set up a little bit more. It's a little bit more solid footing than the pound, obviously, always. The ECB monetary policy minutes should be nothing. The ECB meeting was a non-event, complete non-event. Unemployment claims shouldn't be much either tonight. So it's not about the data. It's about whether the US dollar is going to continue to sell off or not. I suggest it is going to, and it is probably going to quite violently if the euro picks up steam and the pound joins in at the same time. But just because of what's happening with the dollar yen and the yen crosses, dollar yen might not fall with it. But expect that to bring the Aussie and the Kiwi up as well at some point. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're sitting here and everything's 50 to 100 points higher tomorrow for tomorrow's update. Let's have a little look at the data. Have a little look at the reports today. I'm actually interested to see the Credit Suisse FX technicals. Actually, I haven't seen them for a few days now. There's a few levels that are going to become important on the top side. On a few pairs now that we're starting to attempt to break out. Oh, did he let one run against him? Did he let one run against him, Potter? He does it every now and again, Brights. He's a really good trader, but he just sometimes lets a trade run against him. And I can imagine him letting the pound run against him at some point, you know, if he got in at like 132 or 133. If he bought low, heavy, that'd be interesting. In terms of a Wanda, they look like a market-making B-booker to me. Yeah, I mean, most brokers are B-books, mate. I don't think there's any really that aren't. And I don't trust anyone who says that they aren't. I don't trust, your tickets. I don't trust any of that rubbish. It's just all... At the end of the day, someone's taking the other side of your trade. Why not make sure it's a regulated counterparty like the broker you're trading with? I mean, B-book has got this dirty word. It's like, well, you traded against the bank before you traded against brokers. You want to trade against the banks instead? Somehow you like the banks more than you like your broker? I mean, brokers hedge net exposure. They don't really hedge particular trader. unless that particular trader is a threat. What do you think risk management does in a brokerage? Raj FX, I sold at 112.20, 12.53. You might get a pullback to 112.90, Raj, but yeah, you're on the wrong side of the market. So the best thing to do is to close and reevaluate what you're doing. If you're asking the question, you probably have to close. Okay. Which broker is best for indices, Alazaris? Alright, depends what size you trade, mate. Depends what conditions you want. You know? Depends literally on many things, but if you want to trade 24 hours a day, IG is pretty good. I've heard interactive brokers is pretty good if you're trading big in terms of the commission structure. Every FX broker has the indices though. Generally, you know, the spreads are not too bad. If you're trading ASX 200, then I know that the broker I work for is 1 pip, and that's pretty good. 1 pip all the time, fixed with guaranteed stops. That's pretty crazy actually. So that's something that we got past the head office without them knowing the reality. They can thank me, the clients can thank me later for that. Alright, so this is broken. This is broken a couple of key levels. Alright, so where we're going here, looking at serious resistance on above the 114. Then the really big level is that 116.16. Okay, 116.16. We're going to be talking about that going forward. Hopefully we can break that. I really want to see a nice trend in the euro. I want to see that move up to 120. It's been so long since the euro's trended that many people just can't see it happening, which is, you know, if you've started trading in the last 2 years, you think the euro can only go down. Right? You can't remember a rally. You know, for the 6 years before the euro got smashed, it was just relentlessly strong. It led the market in a crusade against the US dollar, where we were trying to bury the US dollar. Like we were, I remember the day we broke 160 on the euro. It was just every day you could buy. And, move back to 120 is nothing in terms of trend. It's 700 pips away, that's nothing. So the thing about really cheap places is that there's no room for customer support, and there's no room for nice trading conditions. So you can get some extremely good trading conditions with B-book brokers, right? These market makers, some of them offer extremely nice trading conditions. And when you go to the real market, you're like, well, this is fucked. Every trade is getting slipped. Every stop is getting slipped. You know, commissions left, right, and center. It really it can add up. So I've never used IB, but I know a lot of clients who do. So, and I know a lot of traders who do. I really want to know about the execution over there. If they've got the right combination of good execution and, you know, really good pricing, then perhaps they are good for the indices. But I know they're good for stocks. I just don't know about the indices. Yeah, good execution, huh? Alright, maybe one day. Maybe one day. For the non-US clients, they've got a non-US compliant account, right? I don't have to play by the US rules, do I? 50 to 1 leverage and all that rubbish. Yeah, Saxo's got a pretty big minimum deposit as well. Yeah, maybe at the end of the day we'll have accounts everywhere. 20k at Saxo, 20k IB, 20k at LMAX. So you pick your poison. I haven't heard about LMAX for a while. I don't know if they're still good or not. They were the super cheap, right? They were the good guys in the market. Wonder how that worked out for them. You know, when there's no B book, and that's how the whole game is about being no B book. I mean, how do they make money? Just on the commissions alone. That's not much. You know, we really should do like a really big review of the different brokers. It's just not feasible given that I work for a broker, and it's just Nick, you know, Nick's IB agreements with a lot of brokers. So let's not go into too depth with looking at a few of the different ones, right, guys? We'll do it off channel one day. Make another video where we just rant about it. But literally, I'm not lying. All the brokers inside the trusted brokers, um, pretty much Nick would definitely vouch for every one of them, and I can vouch for at least 3 of them. I don't know Talon X because it's for the US clients, really, but you know, I heard good things about Talon X as well. The one plug I will do about easy markets is that we do options. So if you want to learn to trade options, then I can teach you. But other than that, they're pretty high price broker. Options and deal cancellations. So dollar CAD. All right. So a lot of you probably selling dollar CAD if you've been following our trade development since that move from 130 150. So it's stalling a little bit at 128. You do want to sell rallies, of course, if you can, but you might not get a very big bounce. And a little thing you have to be mindful of is that a lot of the movements being inspired not just by the weak US dollar, but by this oil movement. And at some point, there's going to be a big pullback here in oil, like a $2 pullback, and that's going to crush the short term. That's going to give you a big movement in the dollar CAD. So small pullbacks until there's a really big pullback, and that's probably the one that I'd be looking for if I wasn't in the market. And if I'm in the market like I am, I'm looking for the big pullback to start in the dollar CAD to close out this trade. Otherwise, I'm just going to let it run. But if you're not in, and there's no risk reward here in selling. Yeah, crash. Yeah, like we can go over options one day. We'll do a big thing about options, mate. Inside this stream. So we do this stream every day. Usually we're just going over the market and going over some research, looking at some trade ideas. But we will definitely go over options and talk about developing options ideas. And the great thing about options is that it's over a long time. So day traders make mistakes because they're all emotional. Options sort of lock you in for like a month or 2 months. It makes no sense to get out early many times, especially if you're selling the option. And it does allow you to do something called delta hedging of your option, so you can be actually really active in the market from your delta hedging, and that's a big part of options FX traders. But we'll go into that at some point. So the potential for a major top in the euro pound is forming here, guys. I didn't really focus on that today at work either, but just saw that then from the weekly chart. So sometimes it's good to look at the weekly chart and the daily charts. If the pound normalizes, we've got a big move here to low 85s. It's positive carry, so that means that you gain swap every day. It's a very interesting levels, and it does take away the US dollar component. All right, so that's what I'm looking for in a few trades. It is with the pound though, so I'm a little hesitant right now calling a top. But if it forms, this pair pulls back quite easily, $200 points with no questions asked. So it does look like it's actually forming that. So the short squeeze that's beginning in the euro pound is looking pretty promising here. I'm just gonna let it run for a little bit though. I don't trust the pound at all. If we're talking tomorrow and it's below 85, or if we get below 85 next week and it's stable, then we'll look to sell. No rush. So if you're wondering what happened with the dollar yen earlier, there was a few comments out by Honda. Honda, where are you, Honda? Honda. There is a more than a 50% chance the BOJ of bold BOJ easing next month. Very interesting. Very aggressive, right? Very aggressive. I mean, that's very aggressive jawboning. Whether it has a lasting effect is pretty unlikely. But they're just happy to slow down the selling. And maybe the yen crosses will be enough to help the dollar yen remain buoyant. Yeah, in terms of BOJ action, I think 95 is going to be the line in the sand. I really do. I think we want to get to 95. You're going to see more aggressive jaw burning, like literally potential physical intervention. Yeah, these guys are saying perhaps we're going to see some speculative unwind of the short as of the hit the level 100. Yeah, potentially. All right, but other than that, guys, everything's looking pretty nice here. I will finish with a couple of trade ideas. Look at the trade ideas in the room. Dollar CAD long. You better have a good reason for that. Harmonic. All right, not good enough for me, but yeah, I mean it's a good level. But let's just see. Where's the target? 128.65. Stop loss 127. Yeah, it's not too bad risk reward. Alright, so he's at least got that going for him. It's against the trend though, so you're looking for that counter trend. Pound. Okay, this one's a very dangerous trade. We looked at this pound Aussie and pound Kiwi yesterday. So yeah, the pound is attempting to do its short cover rally, and so it's looking nice. But it's all about the pound against the US, right? This whole trade idea. You can't expect the Aussie to reverse by itself. So it's about the pound and the short cover. But yeah, this guy's already in. Take profit is stop is already at break even. Perhaps he's even on its way to that take profit. It was a big start of that short squeeze earlier. Dollar yen long at 99.08. Okay, so he's put the wrong number in, but 99. Okay, so he's got a good level. Let's see his reasoning. His reasoning is buy. Okay, and he's got to take profit at 10.60. Yeah, actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad risk reward, but it's I don't know. Apart from you saying buy, right? I really want to see descriptions in these trade ideas a little bit more if we can. I suppose that he did do this on his mobile phone. It looks like, so you can't ask for too much. And trendline trader, I haven't looked at some of your trades for a while. He's got some ducks walking across his chart. Some ducks stepped in some red and green paint. Alright, so he's bullish on gold. A lot of people are. It's a pretty medium-term trade though. He's got his stop loss at 36. And yeah, look, I believe in this trade as well. I do think it's going up. Alright, so not bad trade, guys. I might try to put in some more in-depth trade ideas over the coming days, and hopefully that can become a trend. Just want to see a bit more description in the description, a bit more technical information if you're trading technically, and the idea if you're trading fundamentally. Alright, any more questions, guys? Otherwise we'll end it there. My lovely wife is cooking me food. Don't want to disappoint her. I'm going to talk to Nick. There is a chance I may miss tomorrow or do it later than usual. I haven't missed a stream yet in 2 months actually, but there's a dealer leaving that we're going to have a big party at work tomorrow, so it might be later than usual, if not just delayed until Monday. I don't really want to do the stream pissed, so I mean there is no data tomorrow, but yeah, Friday afternoon drinks. I haven't actually had Friday afternoon drinks for 3 months, so being a good boy, sometimes I gotta go be a bad boy. Alright guys, good luck with your trading. Use the dips to be selling the US dollar. Keep an eye on this dollar yen. Keep an eye on the oil. CAD yen's a very nice trade as well if you're involved in the yen crosses. We didn't talk about that, but CAD yen's a very nice trade. Other than that, if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll be back on Monday at 9 GMT.